Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we will study about the accounting questions. First of all, a Muslim student, please read Sa'ad Al-Fatihah. Auzubillahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So before class started, please, if you watch or if you surf the YouTube, then just subscribe. Put Amin. So today I would like to share the accounting question with. So equation means persamaan. For example, x is equal to y. For accounting equation, they have accounting equation itself. So we will study what is accounting equations, the formula, and also in this chapter I will give you the profit and loss balance sheet theory or definition, and also the what is revenue and expenditure covered on week 2. We hope we will finish the uh, lectures on this title accounting questions. So what is accounting entity? Before we start the class or topics, we have to know the accounting entity. The accounting entity is a business for which a separate set of accounting records is maintained. The organization should engage in clearly identifiable economic activity, control economic resources, and be segregated from the personal transaction of its officers, owners, and employees. So, in this accounting entity uh, definition, I will highlight what is the most important text. It's a business for a separate set of accounting records is maintained. The organization should engage in clearly identify economic activities, control economic resources, and be engaged, all right, all these economic activities, and be segregated from personal transactions. So we have to separate what is economic activities and also the personal transactions. So the economics and personal, we have to differentiate, all right. For example, we have two entities here, 1 and 2. So this is economic and also personal. In this entity or separate entity, the economic and personal, we have to differentiate or separate between this entity. By adding up what accounting records say belongs to a business and deducting what they say the business owes. So we have to highlight this adding and deducting. Belongs to is asset, and owes to is liabilities. You can identify what a business was according to those accounting records. The whole of financial accounting is based upon this very simple idea. It is known as the accounting equations. It can be explained by saying that if a business is to be set up and starting trading, it will need resources or capital. Let's assume first that is the owner of the business who has supplied all of the resources. This can be shown as, so from these explanations, I already highlight the most important term: asset, liability, and capital. Alright. This is what from these definitions I just summarize into the formula. Resource are supplied by the owner or what they are. So what they are, what the owner have own is assets. Resources, who supply them, who supply the asset, how, what the resources of this to get the asset, how what the amount of supply to get the asset. So to get the asset we need to get loan or equity. So for example, you want to buy land amounted 100,000 ringgit, so you don't have much money. You have to first of all, your own money is about 10,000, and then the rest is from your loan. So this is the basic formula is asset equal to liabilities plus equity. So this formula you have to memorize. You have to remember asset equal to liabilities plus owner's equity. Sometimes equity, the well-known term is capital. Okay, equity is equal to capital. Okay, you have to write down the formula in your piece of paper. Okay, asset equal to liabilities plus equities. Assets equal to liabilities plus equities, and then after this is what we call when you first day of business start up. And then after second day, you may start your business. When you start your business, there will be business activity or sale or expenses, and this is what we call revenue minus expenses is profit. So when you sell something, so you may face of revenue, get revenue, and also you have to pay such amount of expenses. So asset is equal liability plus equity plus revenue and minus expenses. Alright, asset plus expenses is equal to liabilities plus equities minus expenses. This revenue you transfer, you move to left side. So this expenses, when expenses is negative, then you move to the other side, you will get plus. So plus expenses, asset plus expenses is equal to liabilities plus equities plus. Okay, I will asset asset negative expenses negative, then if you want to move to other side, it become positive. Asset plus expenses equal liabilities plus capital plus revenue. Okay, this is the first formula, and then this is the second formula formed from the asset plus liabilities plus capital. So the other names of capital, equity is equal to, or what the other names of equity is capital. I just change the equity terms into the capitals. Okay, so what is a statement of financial positions? Statement of financial position, and what is a profit and loss? So I will give you what the meanings of financial or balance sheets. The statement of financial position, also known as a balance sheet. So remember, statement of financial position SOFP is equal to balance sheet. So the other names of SOFP is balance sheet. So in the balance sheet we have a asset, we have liability, and also equity. Okay. And what is the profit and loss? Profit and loss is a report that shows your total income and your total expenses. Profit and loss, you want to get the profit, net profit. So in other words, if you want to get the profit, what the formula of profit is income minus expenses. So profit is equal to income, pendapatan, and minus expenses. Reduce from you get the revenue or income from your selling activities. Alright. Okay. Profit and loss. So the other name of profit and loss also known as the income statement. So the other name is income statement, statement of operation, statement of financial result, income and expenses. This is we use the different terms for profit and loss. So for example, income statement, statement of operation, statement of financial results, income and expenses statement. This is the same meanings, the same report, the same statement of what we call statement of profit and loss. So the financial statement can be divided into balance sheet and P&L. Balance sheet is statement of financial position, and P&L also income statement. Revenue and capital expenditure. Capital expenditure are for fixed asset. So this is the fixed asset also known as capital expenditure, aset tetap ataupun yang dinamakan belanja modal, which are expected to be productive asset for a long period of time. This is capital expenditure may or the other name of capital expenditure is fixed asset tetap. So revenue expenditure are for costs that are related to specific revenue. So this is revenue expenditure is revenue transactions or operating such as cost of goods and or repairs and maintenance. So this is expenditure. What is expenditure? Expenditure adalah belanja, iaitu duit keluar. Duit keluar. So organisasi akan mengeluarkan duit untuk berbelanja lah. Macam awak kan, you as a student, sebagai pelajar, awak nak tiap-tiap hari nak makan, nak isi minyak, itu adalah belanja. So to get awak nak belajar kan. So kenapa dinamakan revenue expenditure? Revenue, awak kalau berniaga, awak kena, kalau contohnya awak nak berniaga nasi lemak, so awak kena bayar gaji, petrol, duit keluar tu, itu nak mendapatkan hasil. Or to get revenue, you have to spend or you have to sacrifice the cost of goods sold or repair and maintenance expense. So you have to remember, capital expenditure can be divided into two, that is capital and also revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. So capital is for asset and revenue expenditure is expenses. This is all about we use our money. So our money is digunakan, duit perniagaan keluar, duit perniagaan dikeluarkan, dibelanjakan ataupun digunakan. So we have business monies to pay or to get or to pay as expenses or to get asset. Okay, this is the questions for revenue and expenditure. For the business of Keyun, a wholesale chemist, classify the between capital and revenue. So capital is asset. Purchase of an extra motor van. So motor van is asset. So this is capital. Cost of rebuilding a warehouse. Rebuilding also asset. So this is capital. Building extension. Extension also asset. This is capital. Painting extension to the warehouse where it was first built. This is capital. Repainting to the warehouse 3 years later than done in 4. So this is also repainting is expense. This is revenue, right? And then carriage cost on bricks for new warehouse extension. Carriage cost meanings you awak nak kos pengangkutan kos pengangkutan nak bawa batu bata ke, so you may use the transportations. This is what they call revenue. This is not an asset. So you have to identify whether this duit yang kita keluarkan tu asset ataupun expenses. So remember, asset is asset tetap. Carriage cost also revenue, expenditure. Legal cost revenue. So remember, untuk revenue, expenditure or expenses, this is burn cost. Cost yang hangus. Okay, revenue and cost of this is erecting is maintenance revenue. So you may answer these questions, and this answer the question, you have to tulislah jawapan dalam kertas, ya. Nanti saya akan beri jawapan. Or it's either you may ambil gambar ni lah using your camera, then you take this slide and then you have to answer the questions. So maybe your answer, this is not the quiz, right? One of the student, you have to submit not all the student, yeah. Can you, one of the student, submit the answer? Try to submit the answer of these questions. Whether might be difficult. This question is ada yang soalan yang susah, kalau berkaitan dengan aset tu. Kalau contoh kalau kereta kan, kalau mesin datang dengan dipisah-pisahkan mesin tu kan, macam kereta dipisahkan tayar dan sebagainya, dan kita nak pasang, so kos pemasangan tu sampai kereta tu boleh bergerak, itu dianggap sebagai aset. bayar insurans, ya. Itu semua dah termasuk dalam harga. Kalau tidak ada insurans, tidak ada kos pemasangan, aset tu tak dapat nak dijalankan. So any cost incurred for start so that the asset can be used for, boleh digunakan. So kalau tak ada kos-kos tersebut, kos tu tak dapat digunakan. So this is considered an asset. Okay, so actually we have already covered the theory or the notes. Then this is the questions. For example, this question, asset is equal liabilities plus capital, meaning that capital is equity. So the formula is asset equal to liabilities plus capital. So what the formula? How to get an is asset equal to liabilities plus capital. Then how to get capital? Capital is equal to asset minus liability. How to get capital? Asset minus liability. Then how to get capital is A, asset minus liability. So please use your calculator. So how much you get? 12,000 minus 1800. 12,500 minus 1800. At the same time, you have to take these pictures or slide. You can at the time you can answer these questions. 12,500 minus 1800. So you will get A is equal to 10,700. Then how you get the liabilities? Asset is equal to liabilities plus capital. And then how to get liability? So you have to move C. A minus C is equal liabilities. So liabilities is asset minus capital. 9,600. 19,600 minus 16,450. Then you will get 3,150. And then the rest of the question you have to answer by yourself. How to get C, how to get D, and how to get E, and how to get F. You just use the formula. So what is the formula? Okay. Asset is equal to liability plus capital. So if you want to get capital, then asset minus liability is equal capital. If you want to get liability, asset minus capital is equal to liability. And when we want to expand the formula, asset equal to liability plus capital plus revenue, and then minus expenses. So if you want to get so negative, you want to avoid negative, then you move negative to left. Asset minus plus expenses is equal to liability plus capital plus revenue. Okay, then if you want to get asset, this formula, this is first formula, and then this is a second formula when there is revenue and expenses account. So saya telah ajar anda apa yang dimasukkan asset, liability, capital, revenue and expenses. So you have to differentiate between these 5 items: asset, liabilities, capital, revenue and expenses. Okay, please please and then also take these pictures and please answer the question. Okay, I will give you the questions in the blackboard. Okay, thank you. Please do your question or homework.